This story is kind of everywhere right now because this guy's name is Richard Moore. He has been on death row for quite some time. He was convicted in 1999 of an armed robbery in South Carolina at a convenience store in which the clerk was shot and killed. However, during this trial, way back then when all was under procedure, it was an all-white jury in a county that was 20% black, so they didn't think it was fair. Richard Moore was he's the suspect and he's black, and they don't feel like things kind of played out in a way that was I guess like just fair. Yeah. But then, you know, I'll tell you both sides. You be a judge of it. During his time in prison up until now, he's had a spotless record. He overcame his drug addiction. He was like a mentor to the other prisoners, and even though he's on death row, which, you know, kind of is a tough place to feel like you have something to live for, he's actually done a lot in his efforts to you know, to help, I guess, other prisoners in the jail like deal with their sentences. And there's been a massive effort to appeal his death sentence, citing that there needs to be a re-examination of the case, because how could they call it an armed robbery when technically he entered the store without a weapon?
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he just walked in and asked for money?
Yeah, so here's how it actually...
Like the clerk presented the weapon, they fought, he took the weapon, shot the clerk with his own weapon.
Here's how it actually went down. And in some ways, some people are claiming that he did this in self-defense. So he went into the convenience store, he tried to buy something, he was 12 cents short, and the clerk told him to leave. But he refused, they argued, the clerk drew his gun. Richard wrestled the gun out of the clerk's hands, and the clerk took a second gun out, shot Richard in the arm, and Richard shot back with the gun that he took and got the guy in the chest and killed the clerk. After the clerk was down...
That's so complicated.
Yeah, after the clerk... But then after the clerk was down, Richard went behind the counter and took $1,400 out of the register.
All right, now that's kind of like a robbery.
So even though he didn't enter with the weapon, there, I guess like...
Did he buy the chips finally?
He's like, here's your 12 cents.
He took the 1,400, put 12 cents, and then took the chips.
Like, Funyuns are so good.
They are fire.
They're fire.
And there was there was a witness there. I think it was like another customer that was in there at the time. So that's, I guess, like what they were able to put together. But they've been trying. There's been like lots of efforts to try to like get this guy off of death row and get the whole thing looked at again. But the clock ran out, and I think just yesterday he was put to...
Whoa. Oh, no. Shit.
He was what? He was...
Executed, yeah, yesterday.
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
Oh, no.
That's such a tough one, though. Because, like, he wasn't intending to go rob the place, but then he robbed the place.
Yeah.
You know how it's like...
Because he wanted to buy chips, 12 cents short.
And the guy pulled a gun on him. Like, that escalates things.
And the saddest part is when in a scenario there's so many outs, but you don't take any of the outs.
Yeah, if a guy has to pull out a gun,
Just like, fuck it, I'll leave. But then he wrestles it, and then bang, and then okay, nah, fucking take the money too. You're like, fucking shit.
Yeah, that part probably shouldn't have had to happen.
Like calling the cops and just being like, this happened, like I didn't mean it, and that could suck too. Or even just at the very beginning, if he's like, you don't have 12 cents, like get out before the gun's drawn. It's like, what do you?
But would you be
how would
afraid
you argue
though
that?
if someone drew a gun on you that like
He's gonna shoot you.
if you turn your back, he's gonna shoot you?
Oh yeah.
Always think like
The
that.
other thing is like, if a guy pulls a gun on you for like 12 cents, right? Like, that's pretty crazy. But then like, yeah, you have a gun pointing at your face. People don't know what they would do in that situation.
Like if it's closer to you grabbing it, wouldn't that be safer than going?
Exactly.
All right, I'm out of here, and then you walk backwards and he fucking kills
Aren't you taught if you take self-defense that if a guy's pointing a gun that close, you're supposed to grab it? Because it's like...
I don't know what the right answer is, right? But it's just like...
There is none.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's a shit situation.
Like, once you're in it already.
But it's like, it's not like the clerk was trying to rob him.
Yeah.
So the two guns were actually the clerks confirmed?
Confirmed.
Okay.
Yeah, that part, these are the parts that I don't think are hazy. This is like, everything else around it, there might be some like different versions, but these things happened. And the whole point is that if you entered a store without a weapon, how can you prove that it was armed robbery if you didn't have an intent to armed rob?
Where he fucked up is he should have just called the cops at the store.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
And you fucking took the money and ran.
But then again, I'm sure in his mind he was like, "Fuck, well,
yeah.
this is it for me.
Right.
I just shot this motherfucker."
Yeah.
It doesn't make it okay at all. I'm just saying, like, from a guy's point of view in that situation where it's like really hectic and
your
very,
adrenaline's like here.
yeah, like
year
you're
was
not thinking properly, you know.
That could be an outcome, but there's
1999.
also still the like.
Well, of course he fucked up. He shouldn't have robbed he shouldn't have taken the $1,400. But it's just like that reaction of like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
What year? I mean, 1999. What place?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. If I was okay. Well, I don't know what South Carolina was in 1999, but even in LA, I feel like, oh, there's no chance that they're gonna believe me. So I can see why he grabbed it and ran.
That's the thing, right? It's
But
like,
then also, there's a part of me that's like, what if I went through the process correctly, and even though I'll just be dead, at least I did it correctly. So like, if you didn't take the money, you call the police, you tell them what happened, then yeah, there's a high chance of you still getting put on death row, going to jail, all that. But at least you know you die honorably.
I think like the reason why so many people were fighting for his case to be re-examined is because if any one of these things was different, it wouldn't be the death penalty. Because like
he'd be there for life probably.
yeah, he'd probably be a lifer maybe, but or maybe something a little bit hopefully better than that. But I think it's the fact that no other robbery that resulted in a death got the death penalty like the way that this happened.
But I'm sure South Carolina they prosecute pretty hard, huh?
Or what are you suspecting?
Yes.
Well, look. When I was in North Carolina,
Is the argument that because it's an all-white jury?
No, I think it's also the fact that he really didn't enter the store with a gun.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Is how can you prove intention to rob the place, to have armed robbery? So at the max, you would think they can prosecute like robbery or burglary.
Yeah.
But if you didn't enter with arms, how can you prove intent? Because it's all about proving intent.
Yeah.
Or that he didn't
Well-
take the 1400 because then it wouldn't be armed
At all, yeah.
It's if the story plays out the way that it does, I think it's actually self-defense because the aggressor is the clerk who pulled out the weapon during an argument.
Yeah.
Because it's based off of an argument, not because he's threatened.
Well, he was basing it off of basically kicking him out of the store, and he wouldn't leave. So
Yeah, but I don't know South Carolina rules, but like, I don't think that you should pull out a gun because you want someone to leave.
It's probably still not time for that. Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's really
But
fucking
like,
hard.
let's say they had the craziest castle law and he did pull out a gun, tell him to leave. He should have left.
Yeah, he should have.
Because under like normal circumstances, if a store owner pulls out a gun, you're like, I'm backing out of the store.
Yeah, I'm out.
Because at the end of the day, that store owner or store worker has more of a right to be in the store than you do, right?
Yeah.
but also, how big was he compared to the store clerk owner?
Yeah, there's that.
True.
too. There's that
Yeah.
too.
Did you feel threatened? Did he
Yeah.
say something where you were threatened?
Yeah.
So that could have passed.
That's what they were trying to argue on his behalf. They were trying to argue that this was his response to being threatened.
right.
Yeah.
So it makes
That's true, because if you think about, we wouldn't question this if the shopkeeper was a 70-something-year-old grandma, 5 feet tall, weighing 120 pounds, right? And then it was 2 Samoan guys. Usually they're very respectful with elders, but I'm just saying it's such an intimidating like size, right? Like 2 fucking football players or one guy yelling at you, fucking deep voice, whatever. You're like, honey, you're gonna have to get the hell out of the store, right? I can see a gun being used in that situation.
Yeah, but also North Carolina, 1999, right? I was just in South Carolina.
It was South.
Oh shit, it's South Carolina, 1999. I was just in North Carolina, and everybody. What's going on? You all right, guys?
No, it sounded like you're switching. Like, wait,
Yeah.
North Carolina, I was
No,
in South
I
Carolina.
was
No,
in
South
North
Carolina. No, South
Carolina.
Carolina. I was in North Carolina.
I was in North Carolina, but the way that everyone works there, they know everybody. They know. What's going on, brother? I'm just kidding. But they know everyone. The sheriffs know everybody. The
Everybody
freaking.
in South Carolina knows everybody in North Carolina.
It's- I was in North Carolina. Everyone's tight. So you know what I mean? It could probably just been the same thing. And then plus, it's old money out there. Strong money.
Strong.
You got lawyer, team, friend, judge, drink together, game over. No winning.
Yeah, man, they couldn't. They tried to save him. They couldn't get all the stuff done in time, and they went through with it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, just
It's a really unfortunate situation. Like you said,
Yeah.
this could have all been avoided by him just leaving the store.
the $1,400.
Bro, the $1,400 was like the nail in the coffin, bro.
That was like
Because
the
like
first thing.
you fuck around in a state like that, they'll get your ass, obviously.
When you hear like the logic of somebody else at this point saying, "But is $1,400 worth his life?" But that's the thought the criminal should be having. Yeah. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, keep.
Is that mean to say? Because whenever I say that, people are like, "That's so cold." But it's like that's what keeps you
I
alive.
think it's both sides.
You got to pick and choose
like,
your battles. You got to
The
pick and choose.
person that was breaking into your home to commit a crime, they're not thinking is $1,000 worth your life. You know what I mean? Like they're or my life. Yeah, they're going into the house.
It is worth your life, is what they're thinking.
Yeah, it is. They're like, well, if I don't want to get caught, so I'm just gonna fucking kill them for their $20,000 diamond necklace or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
They're not thinking about it, so why do you have to?
Yeah. Or why does the public have to? Like once it's up for
Is it worth a life? They could change. Well, they should have.
shouldn't be.
No.
Yeah. But that's something that society has to put in your mind before you do the crime, not after.
Yeah, and I say this as someone who's actually broken into houses and committed crimes. If something happened to me during that time,
Yeah.
I fucking deserve it, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Because it's like, dude, I did it.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself in that situation.
I don't like people that they kind of like look at criminals as like dumb infants. Who are like, oh, it's the circumstances that got them there.
It's the foster system.
You're telling me that they never had a fucking choice to work at Target? Come on, man. They just don't. They want easy money. That's why it works that way. Like, and then they go, well, I'm just gonna do it so I could have quick, easy money. I could make thousands doing this way, versus being an honest guy, like making, doing hard work, working my way up.
Yep.
But then all the people that are fighting for the criminals, they don't have any real criminal friends or family members.
It's even weirder when the getaway car is a nicer car than they got.
Yeah.
For
I'm
real.
like, how much more of this like baby infantile mentality thing are you gonna sell? Like we already know these guys are richer.
Yeah.
And they're stealing our jacked up shit.
Oh, what about the criminals? Stupid ass.
Yeah, most of the time the guy who took your Cadillac Converter is putting it in a truck that's worth more than the car he took it off of.
I hate those guys. I
It's a
hate
volume
those guys.
game, baby.
Hustle.
I hate those guys
I know.
so much.
Sucks, man.
I got my cap
Yeah.
stolen before.